Hello everyone, thank you for joining me for part 2 of the question and answer videos that I do every single Monday. Anybody that has questions, please go down below into the comment section, ask me anything you want, and I'll answer them in the next question and answer video next Monday. So let's get started with the next question from Raven in Canada. Hello Raven. How do I know if I'm using my gut feelings or if I'm seeing things through old insecurities and filters, as my ex used to say? Hypersensitivity, hypervigilance, right? Doubt, wondering. So it's good to have awareness, to know that we are after traumatic experience typically, and from relationships, we typically are hypervigilant, and we think that, everyone's a narcissist, right? And but more so, we have people close to us, friends or whatever, or someone we meet new and start dating, and we realize that we might be just too worried and concerned about their behaviors and stuff like this. And so it's good to be aware of this, and it's good to understand that, because of the trauma to our brain, there's certain specific organs that are affected that act as a filter, and that filter doesn't work very well, so we say things and do things we are ashamed of, regret later, wish we didn't do that. So being aware of this, then be aware of your reaction time. Take your time. Don't react. Try to not react all the time right away when you're really upset, if it's things that are upsetting you. Okay, take your time before you make decisions and choices on what to do. If you have enough time, refer to somebody else, ask somebody else. That's why therapy is awesome. Coaching, therapy, counseling, things like this are great to have people help you along, the way, so you can ask them questions like this. But, so how do you know? Well, be aware that if you have a certain feeling of somebody that you don't trust them, instead of saying, well, maybe I'm just being hypervigilant and I'm just going to trust them anyways, maybe you should realize that, hey, I'm not comfortable in this relationship. There's something that doesn't make me feel very good, right? So if it's somebody you just started dating and you're feeling that way, take a step back, create some space, take your time, talk to somebody else about it, okay? And if you feel pressure, whenever you feel pressure and, hey, tell me now, you don't have to. Boundaries helps those things, okay? Hope that makes sense. Thank you, Raven. And you have more to it. You said, I believe my intuition has never failed me throughout my life, but sometimes I still doubt myself. Of course. Doubt, I believe, if you have doubts like this throughout your life, then I believe that's a product of emotional neglect. So work on these things. Childhood neglect, Figure out, start being in tune with your emotions. Start allowing yourself to feel things. Start allowing yourself to feel pain and hurt and face anger and fears and stuff like this. But it's not a gut instinct, it's your emotions, it's your whole body reacting to things. And if somebody makes you react bad, that needs to be addressed. Why? What's going on? Figure it out. Don't just always blame yourself and say, don't talk yourself out of it, all the time, you know what I mean? Be aware that you do overreact. Take your time and evaluate and really see what's going on here and talk to somebody else. That always helps. And you also say, X used to say that you manifested undesirable situations by focusing on fears. And he was referring to the book, The Law of Attractions, which to you sounds like BS. Well, if what he's saying sounds like BS, you probably mean it felt like BS, and that needs to be addressed. Okay? So what do? There's something going on. Most likely, he's saying it and not acting it. That's my guess here, right? So this is common, what manipulators will do. They'll read books and be like, this is how a relationship works. This is what you need to do for me. This is what you need to do in the relationship, and they do nothing, right? Or, he believes that you're manifesting undesirable situations, and maybe that's just to get you to close it because you're talking about concerns and fears and worries you have about his behavior because you don't feel secure in your relationship. So when you start understanding, that you need to have start learning about relationships, realizing that there are emotional needs to need to be met in that relationship, such as you need to have security in that relationship, right? And if you speak up and start asking for reassurance for that security, and he tells you, oh, you're just manifesting undesirable situations, stop focusing on your fears, stuff like that, and you still feel insecure about the relationship, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what people say. It only matters how you feel about it, right? So he can do this all day, right? But until you feel better about it, it doesn't matter. I hope that makes sense. It doesn't matter what he says. It only matters how you feel, just like an apology. If somebody hurts you and you're hurt, you need to feel better. If that person wants to apologize to try and make you feel better, great. But that doesn't mean that's a clear ticket to you're excused. Go ahead. It's okay. You said sorry? Oh, okay. No. You need to feel better about it. You need to feel better about it. So someone can apologize, someone can do cartwheels, pay you $1,000, whatever. Doesn't matter until you feel better about it. Okay? So it doesn't matter what they do. Only how you feel about it. Claire from Texas. Hello, Claire. I broke it off with a narcissist a year ago, but agreed to go out with him again. He picked me up and took me to his house, and I think you said that he said he wants to take you out to dinner, I believe. And he picked you up, and you said, let me go get my stuff or something. He said, oh, no, and took off and took you to his house instead of taking you out to dinner. And at his house, you say that he masturbated in front of you, and I believe you said you didn't want him to, but I believe you told him you didn't want him to, or you told him to stop, something like that. And you're asking me, is this sexual abuse or assault? It's wrong. It's criminal. Okay? It's a criminal act. Criminal sexual act. And he can't be doing that, shouldn't be doing that. And I'm sorry that he did that to you, Claire. I'm very sorry. It's not okay. And if you want to, you can go talk to a lawyer, police officer about that. File a report, press charges, whatever you want to do. You could even sue him. But that's up to you. But yeah, that's wrong. It's criminal. Just like if you agree to have sex with someone 9 times, it's not okay if you don't want to the 10th time and he forces himself on you. That's not okay. Right? So performing sexual acts in front of people and you don't want them to is not okay, even if you've had sex with him before. Make sense? Yeah, really bad. I'm sorry. Jay from California. People gaslight me all the time. I'm sorry. How do I explain to them what they are doing and I don't like it? Gaslighting is the reason I stay away from people. Okay, well, Jay, I'm glad you're asking because I don't want you to stay away from people. We need to figure this out. There's a problem here. I don't know what the problem is here. You're saying people gaslight you all the time. Obviously, that's people in your life, right? Because not everybody gaslights, so you don't have to stay away from people. I don't know if the people are gaslighting you. You say they are. That's horrible if they are. And you want to know how to explain to them what they're doing and that you don't like it. I don't know what's going on here, and I don't know you, Jay. Boundaries they only work if we feel worthy of them. Telling somebody not to do something to you only works if you really believe that you're worthy of telling someone not to do something bad to you. I hope that makes sense. Worthiness. Work on worthiness, self-esteem, stuff like this. If you're around people that are gaslighting you, that's abuse. So you shouldn't be around people that are abusing you, Jay. And, how do you explain to them? Well, if somebody's manipulating you and you're trying to explain to them and it's not working, it's because they don't care. It's because they're manipulating you. They're not going to manipulate. Most people that manipulate you aren't going to be like, oh, okay, Jay, I'm doing what? Okay. Oh, I understand. Yes, I am. I'm doing that, and I'm going to stop now. No. They're going to continue to go, well, you're crazy. What are you talking about? Whatever, Jay. So I don't know about explaining to people how they're gaslighting you. I mean, I wouldn't talk to people that are gaslighting me. I know there's forced situations. You could have a boss that's gaslighting you. How do you tell them? Well, I guess it's different in every situation then, right? If you had a boss gaslighting you, you could ask him to please stop. Best thing to do in situations with most manipulative people is don't play with them. Don't argue with them about details. You tell them to stop. If they don't stop, something else needs to be done, right? We don't just keep telling them to stop, 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 stop. So we stop listening, we stop playing, we stop participating, we don't react to it, we don't argue with them anymore. Hope that makes sense, Jay. I'm sorry that you feel this way. My best recommendation is get some professional help to find out why this is happening. Whatever it is, whatever's happening, why is it happening? Why do you have so many people in your life that you feel they're gaslighting you? If they are, why are they gaslighting you? Why are so many? Maybe there's something going on, Jay, that you have all these people in your life that are manipulating you and gaslighting you. Or maybe there's something going on, that you're feeling that way. So I would just go find some help and ask them why. Right? Good luck, Jay. Sorry. Ariana from California. Hello, Ariana. 6 months, no contact with ex. He is with New Supply now, but is contacting me because he needs to talk to get things off his chest. Do narcs need closure? I hate depriving him of this, but fear and conflicted by his motives. So, 6 months, no contact. Good job. But now he's contacting you, and you ignore him, and he contacts you, and you block him, and he contacts you somewhere else, and he keeps saying, I need to do this. I need this from you. I need this from you. I need this from you. And you don't want to, and that's all that matters. Done. You owe him nothing. Okay? Closure is nice to give. But if he doesn't care about boundaries and he keeps asking, stay away from him. Stay away from him, Ariana. And you don't have to trust his motives. You have to just realize that he's so sick that anything he does is going to do it for himself, whether you like it or not. He's going to keep contacting you and asking you and demand closure, whether you like it or not. He's going to keep contacting you even if it upsets you. He's going to keep asking you even if you don't want to. So are we going to give him anything? No. Okay? He needs to stop contacting you. It's not okay. I would get a lawyer, write him a letter. Say, stop contacting him. Because then you start wondering, you start doubting yourself and feeling like a bad person. Do you see that? So we need to stop seeing this, okay? Good luck, Ariana. Fit Mom Ella from California. Hello. Why do narcissists hoover by sending random nonsense? Blows my mind how they can cause trauma in your life and randomly hoover. And I shortened this question up. I hope I understood it right. It was a little hard for me to understand. I think you're just asking, why the nonsense hoovers? And why, the stupid little games? Why do they just, like a photo on Facebook, right? Something like that. It's like you just traumatized the living hell out of me, and you never apologized, and there's no closure, and we stopped talking. You totally cut me out of your life and didn't tell me why, and all this stuff, right? Totally abused the hell out of me. And then 6 months later, you come by and put a little heart on my Facebook photo, something like that, or just send you some stupid little thing, ask you some little question, and I think what you mean is they act like nothing happened, right? Well, they cannot deal with all that responsibility and accountability that they need after they've abused the hell out of you, right? I mean, we need to say sorry at least. They can't do that. They're so full of shame. They feel like such bad people. I'm not even going to go there, right? That's how they feel. I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to attempt to tell you how guilty a bad person I am. What I did was bad. Because if I did something bad, then I'm a bad person. That's how much shame they have. So, they don't care. And they're so narcissistic, they just don't care or concerned about how you feel. Just what I want from you. That's all they care about. What can I get from you? I want to get, and that's their little way. They're hoping that you know, that sparked a little interest in you contact them and say, God, what are you doing? What do you want? They're like, oh, nothing. You know, it's just liking your photo on Facebook. How are you doing? You know, and then there. Now they sparked some conversation and they got what they wanted. Maybe they just want you to want them. Maybe they want some more money or sex or something from you, you know. But that was a way in your life without them having to approach you very much or asking for what they want, right? Taking in, you know, it's just, they're just immature. They can't handle relationships. This is what they do. Thank you. Helen from Australia. Hello, Helen. Okay, so Helen has a bunch of questions. Are you in the third year of healing? What happens in the third year? I mean for you, defining a healthy relationship and find one. I see a ring on your finger. Were you depressed for a long time? Are you okay now? So tons and tons of questions. So I think you want to you're asking me what I've gone through kind of after an abusive relationship that I had. So yes, I was in an abusive relationship. That's what got me to started to do this stuff. Really long, bad relationship. I'm not in the third year. It's been 9 years, and it's, you know, recovery is different for everybody, Helen. Different for everyone. Our experiences we had were all different, and we react to them differently, and they mean different things to us, and we learn different things, and we're at different paces in our recovery from it, and our growing and our growth in life. We're all in different places in life, right? So there is no like scale like, oh, this happens in the third year, this happens in the fourth year. I can tell you what happened the third year after my relationship, but that's not necessarily going to apply to you too much. You know, it's totally like so completely different for all of us. So it took me like 4 years to discover this information. So it was extremely difficult for me. I was depressed. I tried dating. It was miserable for a little while, just a little while after I tried. And then I totally stopped dating. For a long time, I chose not to date anymore, and I worked on myself until I knew, you know, what was going on with me, and I felt better. And then I discovered this information, and I really began learning, really understanding, really healing. I was watching videos and reading and stuff like this, and getting really good advice and talking about my stuff all the time. And then after a bunch of that, then I finally made this channel almost 3 years ago and was feeling a lot better and learned so much I wanted to share it with you guys. I learned what a healthy relationship is. I finally started a relationship with somebody and you know, with somebody totally healthier, somebody that is really loving and caring and nice and patient and warm and receptive and stable and all these things, you know. So, and that's what I deserved when I finally was like that, and I felt that I deserved that. And then I began also learning in that relationship, learn what makes better relationships, right? It's just a process. It's a process. So, and I'm great now. I feel wonderful. For a few years, I kept thinking, I'm healed. And I kept realizing by learning more and more time going on, I learned that I feel better, I'm getting better. I feel better, I'm getting better. It seemed like I just kept reaching new milestones that I never thought existed. I thought I was there. I thought I was at the top. And I just kept getting better and better and better. I noticed my emotions and my reactions and how I felt about my past, and all this stuff was just so much better. Hope that answers all your questions, Helen. If not, just ask some more. And thank you very much for asking. And that is it for the Q&A videos. Thank you, everybody. Please, if you can help me, what I'm doing is trying to get this information out there for people who need it. So I'm trying to get it big. The bigger it is, the more people it'll reach, okay? If you can help me do this, voting, commenting, sharing the video, posting it, social media groups, and stuff like that, okay? Thank you, everyone. Please, love yourself first, and I'll see you next Monday.